Now we can see, interestingly, a mixed group coming forward. We have American infantry here backed up with some British reconnaissance vehicles. There were a number of Americans under Montgomery's command during World War II. And it would be the case that if reconnaissance vehicles were available, they would have been added to any force that required them. We can see the Jeep coming forward. Now, the Allies are cautiously pushing forward here. They don't know what to expect. Every church steeple, every hedgerow, every isolated farm could be cover for a German ambush. The Germans open fire. That's it, they're putting some fire down. And very sensibly, the initial wrecking troops are withdrawing to a safe distance. Now the Germans have sprung the ambush, and it's developing into a bit of a firefight. Now at this point, the Stuart is giving some usable muscle to the American infantry. No, there's a different matter. The 76 open fire. The Stuart is now very, very vulnerable. It's worth listening, ladies and gentlemen, to the difference in the pattern of firepower coming from the Germans and the Allies. They have access to much more ammunition than the Germans do. Now there we have a second recce vehicle coming in. This is a British built vehicle. This is the Daimler armoured car mounting 2-pounder gun. Now there's the Daimler's been hit. The Daimler's been hit. Yeah, flames on the Daimler now. The 222 is open fire, this 20mm. Stalemate here, ladies and gentlemen. The Allies can't advance in the face of this German firepower, but the Germans can't decisively win the field. Now, the Jeep is coming in. This is a bit of a risk, ladies and gentlemen. The Jeep, as we've said, is soft-skinned, but it does mount that 50 caliber machine gun. Now, the 50 caliber originally designed towards the end of the First World War as an anti-tank weapon, so it's a serious bit of firepower. If they get into weapons. Now, although the Daimler's been hit, it's moving forward. The Allied troops are moving forward. These guys from the 29th Division, they landed at Omaha, so they know what a tough fight is like. American infantry coming in, so there's going to be a sort of two-pronged firefight going on here. There's the original roadblock, and there's a peripheral fight here as the Germans are trying to flank the initial advance of themselves being flanked by the Americans. The American infantry had a little mantra: find them, fix them, flank them, and finish them. And that's what they're trying to do now. They're trying to flank the Germans and to finish them off. Now the Germans are bringing in Panzer Grenadiers in the 251. The 251 lightly armoured, but it's mounting a couple of very... there we go. My goodness, the Stuart's been hit now. This is far from that. Heavy Russian built gun is really giving the Germans now some teeth. They deploy the Panzer Grenadiers out the back of the 251. The 251 itself is armed with at least one heavy machine gun, which they may or may not be able to deploy. Yeah, it's a BAR, I can see there up on the high ground. What the Allies are doing is using their weight of material here now. They have got more ammunition. They have got access to more armour than the Germans have. Now the Germans can still do damage here, we know that. They're making the Allies pay. The handbag's been hit now. Yeah, that 76mm of the M4A2 is going to be, I think, the pivotal thing here. The Germans have nothing that can stand against that. The American reinforcements have taken the high ground, they're flanking the Germans. Germans aren't giving up, they're not going to relinquish this ground easily. It looks as if they've had a misfire with their heavy weapon. And yet the artillerymen here are now fighting with infantry. The balance is swinging clearly in the Allied favour. The Chaffee is flanking the German position, using its speed. It's got a 75mm gun there, which is deploying against the 222. It's hit the 222. And that's burning. The Germans now have no armour. There's still some artillery coming in, but it's not going to save this position. We're getting to the crux of this action, ladies and gentlemen. And notice again the GIs armed either with semi-automatic weapons or with semi-automatic carbines. And yeah, it's over, I think. The Germans are beginning to surrender. And the Hoch is interesting. Many of these young Americans will be of German extraction. They probably speak German as a second language, so they can communicate their intentions quite clearly. However, this is a dangerous time. Spirits, blood's running very, very high. One of the main roles of our reenactors this afternoon is an educational one. We hope that we've been able to give you at least a flavour of one small contact in Northwest Europe in 1944. It's interesting to note perhaps that 75mm gun on the Chaffee was actually originally designed to fit ordinary aircraft for use in the TANKFEST event. That project already paid off, so it is this particular engagement has gone the way of the Allies. There's still a long way to go. There's still a crossing of the Rhine. The Americans seizing the bridge of the Remagen. The British, the Canadians throwing thousands of troops across the Rhine operation plunder.